Unless they were going to stay there forever, the dinosaur needed to do something clever. With the feeling of guilt deep down in his gut, its brain brewed a plan involving its butt. It knew there was only one thing it could do. To get them back home, it needed to...
Clean Break by Jacqueline Wilson. I thought it was going to be the best Christmas ever. I woke up very, very early and sat up as slowly as I could, trying not to shake the bed. I didn't want to wake Vita or Maxie. I wanted to have this moment all to myself. I wriggled down to the end of the bed, carefully edging round Vita. She always curled up like a little monkey, knees right under her pointed chin, so the hump that was her stopped halfway down the duvet. It was so dark I couldn't see at all, but I could feel. My hand stroked 3 little woolly socks, stretched to bursting point. They were tiny stripy socks, too small even for Vita. The joke was to see how many weeny presents could be stuffed inside. Vita and Maxie appreciated Santa's sense of humour and left him a minute mince pie on a doll's tea set plate and a thimbleful of wine, and wrote him teeny thank you letters on pieces of paper no bigger than a postage stamp.
Digger and Tiger spent all their time in the yard. Nothing grew there but piles of dented things, empty things, worn out things. No one else dared come to the yard. It was their place. Digger and Tiger were rough and tumble boys, spiky-haired, hole-at-the-knee boys. They were not brothers, but they went together like a dustbin and its lid. Stop.
Yoo-hoo! Join the mob! So the 5 ugly animals ambled along, casting long shadows and singing this song. We're the ugly 5, we're the ugly 5. Everyone flees when they see us arrive. How can such hideous creatures survive? We're the ugly 5, we're the ugly 5.
This is how the story begins. On a dark, dark hill, there was a dark, dark town. In the dark, dark town, there was a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark staircase. Down the dark, dark staircase, there was a dark, dark cellar. And in the dark, dark cellar, some skeletons lived. There was a big skeleton, a little skeleton, and a dog skeleton. One night, the big skeleton sat in bed. He scratched his skull. What shall we do tonight? He said. Let's take the dog for a walk, said the little skeleton, and frighten somebody. Good idea, the big skeleton said. So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton left the dark, dark cellar, climbed the dark, dark staircase, and stepped out into the dark, dark street. They walked past the houses and the shops.
Horrid Henry goes shopping. Horrid Henry stood in his bedroom up to his knees in clothes. The long-sleeved stripy t-shirt came down to his elbow. His trousers stopped halfway down his legs. Henry sucked in his tummy as hard as he could. Still the zip wouldn't zip. Nothing fits, he screamed, yanking off the shirt and hurling it across the room. And my shoes hurt.